In 2005, scientists discovered a distant planet whose atmosphere almost completely resembled that of Earth. This mysterious planet was named Planet G. Exactly a year later, in 2006, NASA developed the most powerful transmission device ever built, 5 times more powerful than any previous device. With this, an unprecedented mission was launched with the objective of establishing contact with the unknown planet. This mission was named the Beacon Project. Under this project, scientists planned to send signals towards Planet G in the hope that, if any intelligent civilization existed there, they would sense our presence. For this purpose, massive dish antennas were installed on the hills of Hawaii Island, which transmitted an extremely powerful signal once every 24 hours. This signal first reached a satellite in space, which amplified it and transmitted it in the direction of Planet G. The process of sending signals had now begun. Meanwhile, the story shifted to the city of Oahu in Hawaii, where a careless and carefree young man named Alex Hopper lived. Alex had no purpose in life. He spent his days recklessly and aimlessly. But that very day, he laid eyes on a beautiful girl named Samantha, and it was love at first sight. In his attempt to impress her, Alex crossed all limits, which ultimately led to his arrest. Fortunately, his brother Stone Hopper, a commander in the U.S. Navy, came to his rescue, as he always had. However, this time, Stone revealed a hard truth, that the girl Alex was dreaming of settling down with was none other than the daughter of U.S. Navy Admiral Terrence Shane. Alex, however, didn't care. He only saw Samantha, not her father or his status. But Stone had grown tired of Alex's aimless and irresponsible lifestyle. He felt that if nothing changed now, Alex would ruin himself completely. So, with that thought, Stone got Alex enlisted directly into the U.S. Navy to teach him the value of responsibility. The story gained momentum, and a few years passed. Although Alex still struggled with his old habits of stubbornness and recklessness, Samantha's love kept him grounded. Thanks to her, Alex had now risen to a responsible rank in the U.S. Navy. He was a lieutenant aboard the USS John Paul Jones, a destroyer ship. Alex and Samantha's relationship had now reached the threshold of marriage. However, one major obstacle still stood in their way: Samantha's father, Admiral Terrence, who still saw Alex as a useless young man. This made it difficult for Alex to muster the courage to ask the Admiral for Samantha's hand. Alex Hopper and his older brother, Commander Stone Hopper, were currently participating in the ongoing RIMPAC naval exercise in Hawaii. RIMPAC, short for Rim of the Pacific Exercise, is the world's largest and most powerful joint naval military drill. Here, navies from many countries come together to practice war training and coordination so they can unite when real conflict arises. This year's RIMPAC included powerful nations like the United States, Japan, Australia, and Korea. Alex was aboard the USS John Paul Jones, while his brother Stone was the captain of the USS Sampson. It was the first day of the RIMPAC exercise, and each country's naval forces were showcasing their combat techniques. At the same time, a terrifying incident occurred in space. The satellite responsible for amplifying the signal was transmitting in the direction of Planet G when, suddenly, a portal opened in that direction. From that portal emerged several terrifying figures, 5 unidentified alien objects, being pulled by some gravitational force straight toward Earth. But during their descent, one of the objects collided with the satellite. The impact was massive, the satellite was completely destroyed, and the trajectory of that alien object was altered. 4 of the objects crashed into the ocean near Hawaii Island, while the 5th crashed straight into China, wreaking havoc in the city of Hong Kong. This incident sent shockwaves around the globe. An emergency meeting was called by NASA scientists and U.S. government officials. NASA scientists claimed that these alien objects must have come from Planet G, the same planet they had been transmitting signals to for months under the Beacon Project. In other words, an intelligent alien civilization did exist on Planet G, and they had now made their presence known. But was this a message or an attack? That question caused great concern for both NASA and the U.S. government. Meanwhile, naval forces conducting training in the Pacific Ocean were informed about the incident. The alien objects had fallen just a few miles from them in the sea. The captain of Alex's ship coordinated with his brother Stone and a Japanese ship, and the 3 warships set off to assess the situation. On the other hand, NASA received crucial information from China. The alien object that had crashed in Hong Kong was made of an unknown element not found on Earth. It appeared to be some sort of communication device. Although the device was completely destroyed in the crash, a question arose. Why had the aliens sent a communication device to Earth? Were they trying to contact someone? But who? Meanwhile, Alex, Stone, and the Japanese ship continued heading toward the crash site. As they neared the location, they spotted a mysterious structure emerging from the ocean. It was an alien object, but whether it was a ship or something else wasn't clear from a distance. Alex and Stone kept a watchful eye on it for a while. It showed no signs of movement, nor did anything emerge from it. Then, Captain Stone sent Alex and 2 soldiers to investigate the object. They boarded a small boat and slowly approached the object. Before them stood a strange, tall, and massive pillar rooted deep into the ocean floor. Without hesitation, Alex jumped into the shallow water and moved toward the pillar. The surface of the pillar had unusual, raised markings. As soon as Alex tried to touch them, he received a powerful electric shock and was thrown backward. At that very moment, a burst of energy exploded from two nearby platforms next to the pillar, shooting up into the sky and creating an invisible energy shield around the pillar, spanning several kilometers in radius. Alex, his team, and all three warships were now trapped inside this energy shield, as if they were genies sealed in a bottle. No signal could escape, and no help could come in. All around them was mysterious silence and invisible walls. Meanwhile, a jet from the Air Force was speeding toward the area, but the shield was invisible to the naked eye. As soon as the jet collided with it, a violent explosion occurred, and the jet was blown to pieces. Inside the shield, the soldiers aboard the ships went on high alert. They began preparing their weapons. Meanwhile, Alex and his two fellow soldiers witnessed a terrifying sight near the pillar. The ocean began to churn violently, as if something massive was about to emerge from its depths. And then, out of nowhere, three gigantic alien ships burst from the water like leaping dolphins. The three ships took up strategic positions around the pillar, as if guarding it like soldiers protecting a fortress. The entire naval force was struck with fear at the sight. At the same time, Alex noticed that the ships were covered with an extremely strong windshield, indicating that aliens might indeed be inside, but nothing was visible from the outside. Suddenly, a loud sound wave erupted from an alien ship, shattering the glass of all surrounding ships and temporarily deafening the entire army. Taking this as a declaration of war, Captain Stone launched a counterattack. His forces fired a missile at one of the alien ships, but they missed. At that exact moment, a barrage of missiles was launched from the alien ship, and in the blink of an eye, Stone's ship was blown to pieces. Everyone on board, including Captain Stone himself, died in the blast. Watching his brother die in front of his eyes, Alex was devastated. But alongside the shock, a burning desire for revenge flared up within him. Without wasting a moment, he boarded his destroyer ship and began looking for the captain. But the soldiers informed him that the ship's captain had also been killed in the attack. This hit Alex hard because, after the captain, the next senior officer on the ship was him. Now, the responsibility of leading the entire army fell on his shoulders. At first, Alex was shaken, but his need to avenge his brother's death gave him the strength he needed. He ordered his team to load the weapons. Now he was fully prepared to launch a counterattack on the alien ship. Seeing Alex's ship preparing for battle, the Japanese ship's captain Nagata also alerted his crew so they could assist Alex. However, after the last attack, the alien ships had gone completely silent. But as soon as Alex and Nagata aimed their ship's weapons at the alien ship suddenly came to life again. It launched another wave of missiles and destroyed Nagata's ship. Fortunately, Nagata and his team jumped into the water and managed to save their lives. Alex now realized that any hasty or emotional decision could cost him and his entire army their lives. So, he calmed himself and lowered his weapons. The alien ship went silent once again. Alex rescued Nagata and the remaining soldiers and brought them aboard his ship. At that moment, there was more movement from the aliens. From the alien pillar, a shuttle-like craft and 3 rotating golden drones emerged and headed directly toward the civilian population. These drones, now referred to as shredder drones, were actually destroyers. Whenever they detected any military or electronic weaponry or sensed even the slightest threat, they would immediately annihilate it. Be it vehicles, helicopters, or humans. They began wreaking havoc in the surrounding areas. Meanwhile, Alex's girlfriend Samantha was hiking in the mountains of Oahu Island in Hawaii. Samantha was a physiotherapist, accompanying a retired Army veteran named Mick Canales. Mick had lost both his legs in the war and was learning to walk again with the help of prosthetic legs. Samantha was helping him adjust to this new phase of life. Oahu Island, too, was within the alien's invisible shield, cutting off all signals in the area. Suddenly, Samantha and Mick spotted the alien ship flying overhead. They were stunned. Soon after, a local police unit arrived and informed them that an alien attack had occurred nearby. They advised Samantha and Mick to return home and continued toward the observatory. Meanwhile, the alien ship landed right next to the observatory. As the hatch opened, armored aliens emerged, completely silent but with deadly intent. Without wasting a moment, they launched a fierce attack on the observatory. The once peaceful environment was now filled with screams. At the same time, the local police unit was unknowingly heading straight into danger. Suddenly, an alien appeared and shattered their vehicle's windshield with a powerful punch. Moving at lightning speed, it wiped out all the officers in an instant. Back on Alex's ship, his team made a shocking discovery. An alien wearing an armored suit had washed up from the sea. All the soldiers were eager to see what was inside the suit. Alex removed the alien's helmet, and what they saw sent chills down everyone's spine. It was a humanoid alien. Its facial features resembled humans to some extent, but its beard was made of sharp spikes, and its fingers looked bizarre. Alex opened its eyes and shone a flashlight into them. The aliens' eyes were deep black at first, but then, like a chameleon, they changed color. Suddenly, the alien woke up and grabbed Alex's face with its wide hands. The moment it touched him, Alex began seeing images from the alien's mind. He understood their entire plan. They were preparing for a full-scale invasion of Earth. Just then, Alex's team pulled the alien away from him. At that same moment, a powerful explosion rocked the ship. Amidst smoke and chaos, the door burst open and other aliens stormed in. Surprisingly, they didn't harm anyone. They simply picked up their injured comrade and quietly left, as if Alex and his team were completely invisible to them. Alex found this extremely strange. Still, he was already shaken by the terrifying knowledge of the aliens' real intentions. Meanwhile, NASA had discovered the aliens' plan to use Hawaii as a communication hub. It turned out that the aliens were trying to signal their army to come to Earth for war. But their original communication system had crashed in China. So they had captured the Hawaiian island because it housed the powerful transmitter of the Beacon project. They were modifying it to send signals back to their home planet. This was an alarming revelation, because if just 5 alien ships could cause this much destruction, imagine what would happen if they succeeded in contacting their planet. Countless more aliens could arrive, and humanity might be wiped out completely. This information left everyone terrified. Meanwhile, Samantha and Mick were headed toward the observatory. Suddenly, a man came running toward them, looking terrified. His name was Cal Zapata, a scientist from the Beacon project. He informed them that aliens had taken over the observatory, killed all the scientists, and were now preparing to send a signal to their home planet. Samantha and Mick were stunned. Cal further explained that their deep space satellite, which amplified signals, reached a particular position only once every 24 hours. That position was only 5 hours away. It was the only window through which the signal could be sent. If the aliens were not stopped before then, it would mean the end of the world. This revelation deeply alarmed Samantha and Mick. The question now wasn't about saving just one life. It was about saving all of humanity. They resolved to stop the aliens' plan at any cost. Back on the ship, Alex and his team were also strategizing. One of the technicians made an interesting discovery while examining the alien's helmet. He showed Alex an image of a lizard known as the leopard gecko. The lizard's eyes looked exactly like the aliens. The technician explained that the gecko is highly sensitive to sunlight, and the alien's helmet functioned like advanced sunglasses. It also contained moisture and a light oxygen supply. All of this indicated that the aliens, too, were highly sensitive to sunlight. Like leopard geckos, these aliens couldn't see properly in sunlight. That's probably why they didn't spot them. It's possible they could only detect humans through the scanners in their helmets. Now Alex had discovered one weakness of the aliens. They couldn't directly see them. They only detected weapons and sensed threats before attacking. Alex decided to use this weakness to defeat them. Japanese Commander Nagata stood with Alex. However, before they could destroy the aliens, they had to take down the 3 alien destroyer ships, and then the mothership. But now, night had fallen, making it even harder to spot the aliens. On top of that, the alien energy field had completely disabled Alex's ship's radar. That meant no alien ships or movement could be seen on the screens. The entire Navy team was tense because they couldn't see their enemy. At this point, Nagata gave a strange but brilliant suggestion. He mentioned that tsunami warning buoys installed around Hawaii by NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, could detect deep-sea disturbances caused by events like earthquakes, tremors, or the movement of something very large. Since the alien ships were slicing through the water with great speed and weight, they were causing massive underwater turbulence, which could be detected by these buoys. Nagata and Alex created a grid, treating each buoy as a point. Whenever a powerful wave formed in a certain spot underwater, they could estimate the direction and speed of the alien ships. The whole system worked like sensing an enemy's movements in the sea without even using your eyes. During this, they observed that the 3 alien destroyer ships were heading straight toward them, probably sensing a threat. The aliens were advancing in a pattern. Alex and Nagata quickly figured out this movement pattern. Using the right timing and positioning, they launched a single strike and destroyed 2 of the alien ships. A wave of joy ran through Alex and his team. They now had hope they could defeat the aliens. Meanwhile, Samantha was trying to contact Alex, but the island's signals had also been jammed by the aliens, making communication impossible. Fortunately, Cal was with her. He explained that the aliens were using an electromagnetic field to jam signals. But he had a special spectrum analyzer device that could allow them to contact Alex. Cal sneaked into his observatory and fetched the device. Samantha immediately called Alex and informed him that the aliens were setting up a communication system on Oahu Island to summon reinforcements. They had only 4 hours to destroy the entire island setup before more alien forces arrived. Just then, the call got disconnected. At that moment, Alex saw that the aliens had figured out their tactics. The last remaining alien ship changed its pattern and started circling around to flank them from behind. In the darkness, it was almost impossible to hit. Only 40 minutes remained until sunrise. Alex used his wit. He kept evading the alien ship until dawn. As soon as the sun rose, he maneuvered his ship behind Oahu Island, then circled it in front of the alien ship and fired directly at its windshield. The aliens inside were blinded by the harsh sunlight. All they could see was the blinding glare. Seizing the opportunity, Alex and Nagata launched rockets and destroyed that alien ship as well. Alex and his team were filled with renewed energy. But just then, the alien mothership launched 2 shredder drones that destroyed Alex's ship. Luckily, Alex, Nagata, and the remaining soldiers managed to escape using lifeboats. However, losing the destroyer ship was a huge setback. On the other hand, Samantha, watching from a distance through binoculars, saw Alex's ship get destroyed. She thought Alex was dead. Along with the heartbreak of losing Alex, she was devastated by the thought that no one was left to stop the aliens. But then Mick stepped up. Though he had lost a leg, the blood of a soldier still ran in his veins. He got into a police car with Samantha and rushed toward the observatory, where the aliens were just about to finish setting up their communication system. Meanwhile, Alex's team, now disheartened, was making their way to the shore. Without a ship or weapons, fighting the aliens seemed impossible. Just then, Alex spotted an old battleship named Missouri docked at the shore. Although it had been turned into a museum, it was now their only hope against the alien threat. Alex and his team boarded the ship. However, the ship was 70 years old, and its control systems were outdated and unfamiliar to the soldiers. Luckily, they met some retired war veterans on the ship, former sailors who had once operated it. These elderly veterans had been invited as guests for the RIMPAC training exercises, but now they too were trapped inside the invisible shield with the others. They joined Alex in this battle. Together, they transformed the old museum ship back into a battle-ready vessel. But this war was far from easy. On one side was the alien mothership equipped with advanced technology, and on the other was Alex's 70-year-old battleship, Missouri. Still, the fearless Alex and his brave team launched a direct assault on the mothership. Though the aliens were far superior, and their massive ship packed with modern weapons was overpowering at every step, they underestimated the human spirit, our strategy, courage, and intelligence. Alex kept maneuvering his ship out of the enemy's direct aim and circled around, firing missiles strategically. Eventually, they managed to destroy the alien mothership. With the mothership gone, the invisible shield also disappeared, clearing the way for the Navy forces stationed outside. The Admiral immediately began preparing the Air Force for attack. But the danger wasn't over yet. On Oahu Island, the aliens had successfully set up their communication device and were moments away from sending the signal. Once that happened, more alien forces would invade Earth. Just then, Samantha and Mick arrived at top speed in their vehicle and rammed directly into the alien communication device, disabling it. But in doing so, they placed themselves in extreme danger. One alien pounced on them. Despite being disabled, Mick fought the alien fiercely, eventually knocking off its helmet. The alien, blinded by the sunlight, couldn't see Mick properly. Even so, it attacked blindly and knocked Mick down. Just as the alien was about to stab Mick with a dagger, Cal arrived and began hitting the alien too. Mick seized the moment, grabbed the alien again, and told Cal to get Samantha to safety. Meanwhile, the rest of the aliens had repaired the communication device and were ready to transmit the signal again. Back on Alex's ship, they had only one missile left. Alex loaded it and aimed it at the alien communication device on Oahu Island. But just then, they saw that the mothership wasn't completely destroyed. It had launched 3 more shredder drones toward Alex's ship. With no weapons left to counter them, Alex and Nagata believed this was their end. But before dying, they fired the last missile toward the alien communication device. As soon as the aliens started transmitting the signal, the missile hit the target, causing a massive explosion. The communication device was destroyed, and all the remaining aliens were killed in the blast. But now, death was looming over Alex and his team. The shredder drones were about to strike their ship. Just then, 3 missiles appeared from nowhere and blew up all 3 drones midair. It was the Air Force unit that had arrived in time to support Alex and his crew. They destroyed the alien mothership completely. Thanks to the bravery of Alex and his courageous team, humanity was saved from the brink of annihilation. The world had narrowly escaped a massive threat, a war that was neither seen nor understood. Samantha, Mick, and Cal also reached a safe location just before the blast, and their lives were spared. Alex's courage, leadership, and intelligence won the hearts of the entire nation. He not only defeated the enemy, but also proved that true bravery lies in taking responsibility. He was honored like a hero. And finally, Admiral Terentian, who once thought Alex was irresponsible and reckless, also accepted Alex and Samantha's relationship. And with that, this story comes to an end. So if you like this video, please do subscribe to this channel.